Davy. I'm awesome. Welcome to Davy's Awesome Stories, where I tell funny stories from my past or go on a rant in an effort to make you laugh. So last week I talked about how badly it went when I was about 15 years old trying to talk to girls at a roller rink. I mentioned in that video this stuff happened several times. Not a whole lot, but several times. Where me and my best friend, author Ken Lindsay, author of the Gavin English series and the River Runes, available at kenlindsaybooks.com, would be out somewhere and he would get it in his head that Davy's got to talk to a girl. Now, part of it, I believe, is he just wanted to encourage me, but I also believe part of it was how badly it made him laugh at how badly I would tank every time. Because it was something he would not let go. Talking about the time at the roller rink, there was another time, years later, this time I was about 20, and him and I were just hanging out. He actually didn't have a girlfriend at this point, he had a fiancé. A few months after this, he got married for the first time. And while we were hanging out in the same city, Carson City, we decided to stop at a coffee place. The coffee place is not there anymore, but I still don't really want to say the name of it, so we'll call it John's Coffee. But it was a small little mom and pop owned coffee place. At this point in time, when I was about 20, Starbucks, there was definitely joking going on about it's taking over, it's everywhere, and people would make those jokes about how there'd be Starbucks across the street from another Starbucks. But it wasn't quite yet at that point. Now it is. Now there's a Starbucks where I live where you can literally see the closest Starbucks from it. But back then, no. It was coming. In fact, I believe it's probably what made this one go out of business not even a year later. But at the moment in this particular city, as far as I know, there was only one standalone Starbucks, and then there was a couple of the casinos that had little Starbucks kiosks places in them. But at this point, we still liked going to this little mom and pop one because of the way it was set up. It was set up like a coffee house you would see in a show like Friends. Where, yes, there were tables and chairs, but there were also couches and comfy chairs, and you could just get a coffee and sit down, and it was basically you had to go to these kinds of places to get a fancy coffee, as we would call it back then. My favorite at the time was a caramel mocha, which at the time was revolutionary. It had caramel and mocha in it. Oh my gosh! Now it's kind of standard. But even back then, I'd get guys telling me that it was a foo-foo drink, that it was gay, and that's what made me get to the point I was like, you know what? I know, it is a gay drink. That's why it's delicious. And from that point on, whether I was at a coffee place or in my younger days when I would go to a bar, I would always ask them, what's the gayest drink you have on the menu? That's the one I want because that's going to be the tastiest drink. The gayer, the better. How gay do you want the drink? I would tell them, the drink that is the absolute gayest. The one that you cannot legally serve to me without YMCA playing in the background or Bravo on the TV. That one. Because that one is going to be delicious. So delicious that I can't even just say delicious. I'd have to say delicious. Basically, I'd have to sound gay to tell you how good it is. That drink. And that's a little advice to all of you. Go in and ask for the gayest drink they got. It's delicious. Don't believe me? Even my brother, when he goes to a bar, says the gayest drink. It's delicious. And then after you drink it, go to one of your gay friends or even just a gay person on the street, give them a hug and say thank you for the drinks. This is what will bring us all closer together. But off that rant and back onto this one. So we were at this coffee place. I got my caramel mocha. Ken got his manly coffee because he has to be manly. And we were sitting on one of the couches and these girls sit down not too far away from us. And I couldn't help but notice one of them. My friend noticed, and he had to say something. Dude, come on. Go talk to her. Dude, you know that's not going to go well. Dude, come on. Maybe if you two hit it off, she'll be your +1 at my wedding. Doubt it. I know, but come on. Dude, all these years, you know dang well I am going to go up to her and I'm going to have nothing. I'm not going to know what to say to her. I don't even know how to break the ice to her. She's already got a coffee. I'm not going to go offer to buy her one. I know, but dude, just go up to her. All you gotta say is, hey, my friend and I noticed you. We're over here. Would you like to come join us? And then that way, since I'm able to talk to people, she'll come sit down. I'll get conversation started. Of course, I'll mention I have a fiance. So now you're the only single guy here. And eventually you'll get more comfortable. You can start talking too. Well, that is a good idea. But since you're the one that's good at talking to people, why don't you go over there and ask her if she wants to come over here? Because I'm not single, dude. So if I go over there and ask her to come over and it turns out, oh, by the way, I got a fiance, you're just going to look like a guy who can't talk to girls by himself. In the interest of saving time, I decided let's not argue with him. Let's just go over there and try what he said. All I gotta do is say something very simple and invite them over. Let's see how it goes. So the moment of truth arrives. I walk up to her and I go, "Hi, how you doing?"
Hi.
Me and my friend over there couldn't help but notice you ladies, and we got a little setup over on that couch. Would you ladies like to come and join us?
Thanks, but we're just kind of having a girls' day here.
Oh, okay. I mean, that doesn't bother me. I like girls' days.
No!
This is why it wasn't good for me to improv. You know what? Never mind. Enjoy your coffees. And of course, when I get back to the couch, Ken is like,
What the hell was that?
I was trying to change her mind.
Good job.
This is why I don't do this stuff, Ken.
Okay, but dude, in the future when a girl says something like, thanks, but we're having a girls' day, what you say is, oh, okay, well, we'll be over there if you change your mind. That way you sound aloof instead of creepy.
Yeah. Usually when I try to say something, Ken, it comes off creepy. Because I don't know what to say and I'm nervous. That's why I don't do this.
Yeah, well, now I think we should move because they're staring at us.
That was the thing about this place. It was big, so we could just actually move to the other side of this room where they couldn't necessarily just stare right at us. So that was good at least. But now, whenever this happened, Ken was always on a mission. And he was never going to let me go unless I tried it at least 2 more times. Because he always had this idea that 3 times was a charm. Even though in this case, that never happened. But a little bit later, we're sitting there, we're just talking, and another girl walks up, and she's standing there looking at the menu because back in the day, these coffee places, it wasn't at all like it is now at Starbucks or where I like to go, Dutch Brothers, where it's all up there, very clear to read. It's always like as if the manager was like, hey guys, write the menu up there in a bunch of different colored chalks and don't print. I want you to do a combination of cursive and italicize. That way nobody can ever understand what it says. But anyway, as she's reading the menu, and I of course look at her, Ken has to start again.
Hey, there you go. Go talk to that girl.
Dude, please, just let me enjoy my coffee.
Dude, come on, she's cute.
I know, but you know dang well I'm not going to do anything about that.
Dude, it's not hard. Just go up to her, offer to buy her coffee, and invite her over here.
Fine. Now this time, I will give myself a little bit of credit. I don't think I did a terrible job this time. But I was DOA, and you'll see why. I walked up to her. Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
Couldn't help but notice you deciding, can I buy that coffee for you? And maybe you can come join me and my friend over there and, talk a little bit?
Oh, thanks. But may I ask, how old are you?
I know what you're thinking. I get it all the time. I look very young for my age. I probably look like a teenager to you. I'm not a teenager, though. I'm 20 years old. Because that is a thing about me. I look way younger than I am. Even right now, those of you who've watched him for the first time, you probably look at me and think, late 20s, early 30s, 42. My wife and I, we're 7 years apart. Nobody who met us in the beginning thought we were that far apart. They thought we were around the same age. But back to this girl.
You're right, I would never have guessed that. But I bet you wouldn't guess how old I am either.
Now I knew what it felt like to be everybody else when they try to guess my age. Because everybody else, when they see me and I tell them guess my age, they always try to go higher. Because they're always like, okay, he must be older than he looks. So they'll say things like when I was in my 30s, okay, 25, 26, thinking that they just overshot it. Only to find out I was like 36, 37. So I tried to overshoot it with her. She looked like she was about my age. 20, 21 tops. So I was like, I don't know, 25, 26 maybe?
Is that really how old you think I am?
So now I'm thinking maybe I did overshoot it too much and I insulted her. So I just told her. No, but with what you're saying, I get that all the time too, so I was just trying to overshoot it. When I first saw you, I'd say probably 20, 21.
31. I know. I get it all the time. I'll bet you do too.
Wow. Well, I gotta tell you, you look really good for 31. because I wouldn't have guessed you were even close to that age.
Nobody does.
Well, I mean, you know, I'd still like to buy you that coffee if you want to hang out. I don't mind that you're 31.
I appreciate that, but I don't want to waste your time. I'm not interested in somebody that much younger than me.
Oh, okay. I understand. It's nice talking to you.
Hey, I want you to know, I know it takes a lot of courage to come and talk to a girl you don't know, and I appreciate it. It made my day, but if you were just a little older.
I understand. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
I gotta say, though, of all the times I've been rejected in my life, that was probably the nicest time. But at least when I went and sat back down, Ken wasn't laughing at me. This was not gonna be a funny story for later. He just said the same thing I did, which was, wow, really 31? Because she definitely did not look that old. But like I said, with Ken, it's always, we gotta try at least 3 times. 3 times the charm. We saw another girl going up there, not getting a coffee. She clearly already had one, but she was looking around all the little things that you could add to it, the cinnamons and stuff like that, on a table. And he tells me, go talk to her. And I'm sitting here like, dude, this is not gonna happen.
Yes, it will. It'll be the story you tell your kids someday. I saw your mom at such and such place, and I built up the courage to just go and talk to her and say this.
And if you've seen this video, that's not what happened. But, again, I saw the writing on the wall. This had happened before, many times. He was not going to leave me alone. But I also knew that if I failed 3 times, then he would leave me alone. So I went up to the girl, pretty much knowing I was going to get shot down, but said to her, hi, couldn't help but notice you. And my friend and I are over there. We got a little setup. Would you like to come join us? To my horror.
You really don't recognize me? I was in that group of girls when you were hitting on my friend earlier.
Have a good day. Yeah, after that, I went up to Ken and I was like, you know what? It's time we leave. So there you have it. That's my story video this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications when I post new videos. Leave a comment I can respond to in my next comment corner. Tell me some ways that you might have triumphed or failed with girls at a coffee place. Love you guys.